Welcome to the lazy plant corner of the internet. Last time we talked about plants that I have killed, and I'm kind of doing a back and forth thing with my videos here. First time we talked about my wish list, second time we talked about plants I've killed, so adding plants, losing plants. Now we're going to do a maintaining plants video. In this video we're going to go over my Peperomia collection. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 Peperomias exactly, which is actually really exciting. I did not know that I had 10, and that works out really well for the purposes of this video. So here is my collection of 10 Peperomia types. And Peperomias have easily probably become my favorite genus of plant. I didn't intend for them to, and I didn't know that they were going to. In fact, I definitely thought I gravitated towards more philodendron types, specifically the hederaceum, so the Brazil, the lemon lime, the regular, not the hederaceum, excuse me, scandens. I feel it? I don't remember. Anyways, all of the heartleaf ones, such as this regular jade heartleaf, just so pretty and lush, and they grow so much, and I love them. But the Peperomias have found a special place in my heart, and I can't really attribute that to anything. I just love how much variety there is in the Peperomia genus. I also love that most of them can be maintained in a pretty small way. Like, it's hard, like with some philodendrons such as the jungle boogie that I have behind me, it grows out and out, up and out, and so it becomes quite a space taker-upper. So I like that the Peperomias are a little bit more compact. Not saying that they can't get big, because they absolutely can, but anyways, with that all said, let's just jump into my Peperomia collection. Oh, also just want to quickly note my cool gnome hat, because it's so cool, and I just got it, and I don't know if I'm ever going to take it off, because it's perfect. Look, it's the perfect colors. It sticks up, it has a tassel. It's perfect. Okay, let's jump right in. Peperomia collection. First, we'll start off with the coveted watermelon Peperomia. Now, if you watched my last two videos, you would know that this one was in my wish list as well as in the plants I've killed video. Since putting it on my wish list, I found it. Now, this one I got, I'll say where I got all of them, not specifically the names of local nurseries, but I'll differentiate if it was from a big box store or from a local nursery. So this one was from Canadian Tire, which is just like a hardware store in Canada, similar to Home Depot, Lowe's, etc. We also have Home Depots and Lowe's, but we have Canadian Tires as well, because gotta put our name on that. So anyways, I originally bought a 6-inch pot of watermelon Peperomia from Canadian Tire. It got root rot, it died. If you want more info on that, you can watch the plants I've killed video. I talk about it a little bit more. And then recently I found another exactly the same 6-inch pot. It came in the same pot too, of watermelon Peperomia from Canadian Tire. This one was much more full. It's also flowering. It's probably getting near the end of the flowering period. The tips of them are going black, but it seems to be a pretty healthy plant. I've lost a couple leaves off of it, and I assume that those ones were rotted because they didn't have any roots. But the rest of the plant seems to be pretty okay. And again, if you watched the plants I've killed video, you would know my goal for this one is to keep it alive, unlike I did the last one, so fingers crossed. Next, we'll move on to the first Peperomia I ever got, and this is Peperomia obtusifolia varagata. This is one of my fastest growing plants. This is one of my favorite plants, and now I could say that this is one of my favorite plants to pretty much any plant in my collection, but this one holds a special place in my heart because when I got it, I didn't know what it was. I've noticed that it's reverting a lot. It used to have a lot more pale variegation to it, and now it has mostly green variegation, but you can still see the variegation. So like, even though this isn't white, you can still see that it is a variegated plant. My favorite leaf on it is right here. It's so cool. It reminds me of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. And this plant is always putting out new growth. I, as you can see, had it like this side facing the window for months, and so it's pretty uneven. The back side of it isn't as filled out, and so I've actually turned it, and now I'm growing it this way. And as I'm filming this, I'm noticing that it has 1, 2, 3, 3 or 4, I feel like I counted 4 earlier, but it could just be 3 new growth points. Oh, 4. Yeah, I just found the 4th one. 4 growth points growing in. So it's starting to fill out again, and I can't wait to see where this plant goes. I really like about this type and any of the Peperomia obtusifolias and the Peperomia incana. When I have seen them in other people's content, I see them a lot of the time growing up and really tall and really leggy, but mine has really just like bushed out, which I like the look of a lot better. So I'm really grateful for that. And like, look at how huge this one leaf is. This leaf was on it when I bought the plant, but still, it's just massive. And this one is also pretty big. So I love this one. I'm not so much going to go into the care of all my peperomias in this video. They're all pretty similar, but they do differ a little bit from plant to plant. But if you're interested in a peperomia care video, I will make a different video specifically about the care of peperomias. But this is going to be long enough as it is, so let's just talk about which peperomias I have. The third plant that I have up here, now these 3 plants don't stay here, they live in different places, but I brought them down for the video. So this is one of my most recent purchases, and this is Peperomia Rubbe Cascade. Now, if you can see on the backs of the leaves, they are this cool red color. Let's see, I can't seem to find any that are showing up. There's one right here. So the backs of the leaves are this red color. I'm already noticing that this plant is super fast growing. You can see how much new growth is just around the edges. It's all growing up because I don't have it hanging, like a part of it is underneath the shelf, so it's like reaching to get to the light. But nonetheless, it's growing properly and fine, and I love the way it looks. So I can't wait for this to actually become a Rubbe Cascade. That's going to be so cool. But in the meantime, I love the way this looks. It's been pretty easy care, although I do know I'm going to have to repot it fairly soon because the soil is kind of crappy. Oh, that's also my only, that's my biggest peperomia. That's also my only like hanging peperomia. I have other ones that could trail, but they aren't fully trailing yet. So that's the only one that actually hangs. All of the rest of the peperomias live on shelves. Okay, now the remaining 7 are down on the floor in front of me, so I'm going to be bending down to pick them up, but we'll start with the Peperomia Fairy Ray, or the Peperomia Happy Bean. I also just learned when I was looking up the Latin name of this plant that it is also sometimes called the Peperomia, the pincushion peperomia, which is really interesting because it doesn't look like a pincushion at all, like even in the slightest. But yes, Peperomia Fairy Ray or Peperomia Happy Bean. This is a plant that I saw a lot in big box stores. Oh, I haven't been saying. Peperomia obtusifolia variegata I got at Lowe's. Peperomia Rubbe Cascade I got at a local nursery. This Peperomia Happy Bean is a plant that I see in big box stores such as Canadian Tire and Lowe's all the time, but for some reason I was never drawn to it until I saw it in a local nursery. And now 4-inch tropicals at my local nursery are really decently priced, so I never really have a problem purchasing them because they're pretty cheap. But I just fell in love with this one for some reason. I was suddenly so attracted to it, and it's just so cute and happy looking, which I love, you know. And also I like the nickname Bean. So this happy bean makes me a happy bean, you know. Okay, moving on. Next we have the Peperomia clusifolia ginny. This plant was labeled as a Peperomia pepper spot when I got it. It's not, it's a ginny, but this plant, oh no, we have one hell of a dead leaf. Yikes, oops, didn't know about that. Well, we found out. So, oh, another one, jeez Louise. Anyways, Peperomia ginny, this plant does really well for me. It's putting out new growth points pretty often, putting out new leaves pretty often. It's got really cool variegation to it. It has those pink, like edges, and then the green and cream variegation on the inside. Some of the leaves are a little bit beat up like this one here, but I don't really mind. I'm not a perfectionist when it comes to the way my plants look. I have this one, as you can see, I have a lot of my plants in terracotta. This plant is fully potted in terracotta. Some of, like the Happy Bean I just showed you, is just a nursery pot sitting in a terracotta pot, but I will eventually pot it up. So this one does really, really well. I can tell easily when this one needs water, and yeah, there's not much to say about this one. Oh, I got this one at a, I think I got this one at a local nursery. It was also pretty cheap. Again, it was like a 4-inch tropical. For some reason, Peperomias are really cheap where I live. That might be another reason why I like to collect them. The most expensive Peperomia I have is the Peperomia Rubbe Cascade, and even at that, it was only $20. So it's not too bad when it comes to the price of Peperomias. And this one, again, I think I got it at a local nursery, but you can easily find them as well as the Happy Beans at big box stores and local nurseries. So. Okay, next we have Peperomia Hope. I just learned that Peperomia Hope doesn't actually have a Latin name because it's not a species of Peperomia or a subspecies of Peperomia. It is a hybrid between two different Peperomias. I cannot remember the names of which ones it's a hybrid of, but Peperomia Hope is so cute. I love the veining on the leaves. It's so subtle but so beautiful, and it just makes, this one also makes me so happy just with the shape and the color of the leaves. And this one also seems to be doing really well. I have most of my Peperomias underneath this purple grow light. I'll take a picture or video and insert it here, but this one, it was losing leaves, and then now it's putting out new growth points, and it has 1, 2, 3 growth points off of 4 stalks. So that's pretty good in my opinion. And I'm really excited to see how quickly this becomes a trailing plant, because I can't wait for it to just cascade down. I think it's going to be really beautiful with the like coin-shaped leaves. But yeah, I like this one too because it's like, Peperomias seem to come in 2 categories: succulent type leaves and soft small leaves. And so I really like the succulent ones because I find them easier to take care of, and they seem to be a little bit more forgiving, whereas the softer ones maybe not so much. But then again, I don't really have issues with any of my Peperomias. My Peperomias grow really well for me, so I can't say definitively which ones are easier to take care of necessarily. You know, some of them might do better in different areas of light, but I have mine in all pretty similar lighting. So, okay, moving on is the Peperomia in Canna, and I love this Peperomia. When I saw it, I didn't know what it was. I knew it was a Peperomia, but I didn't know what type it was, and I just fell in love with it. You can see the leaves have this fuzzy texture to them. It's so cute, and it's this light like minty green color, which I also love. Again, this is a succulent type one. The leaves are super thick, super succulent like, and also I find very easy to take care of this one. And I will say quickly, no, I'm not jumping into care tips, never mind. The Peperomia in Canna I found at a local nursery, the same local nursery that I found the Peperomia Rubbe Cascade at. Next, we have the Peperomia Beetle, or the Peperomia quadrangularis. This Peperomia I found off a seller on Facebook Marketplace. I bought 2 plants from the same seller. I bought this one and my philodendron silver sword at the same time. This plant was $10, which I think is a pretty fair price to pay. Like, you know, I would have maybe liked to see it for like 7 or 8, but $10 for 4 stalks isn't that bad. And again, I notice with it being under the grow light, all of these seem to really like being under the grow light, because when I got this one, the stalks were all like cut as if they had been propagated, and now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 growth points coming off of this plant. So that's excellent. I can't wait to, again, this is another trailing one. I can't wait to see what it looks like when it's trailing down. I think it'll be really cool, and I might propagate it and make it more of a bushy plant, because right now it's just in a regular 4-inch nursery pot, but we'll see where we go. I mean, I'm not the best at propagating in general. I'm propagating thin, like stick-like stems, like the Peperomia quadrangularis. Really freaks me out, because for some reason I feel like they won't root as easily as something that has like a little meat in it. So we'll see. But, and that one, I said I got it off of Facebook Marketplace. So yeah. Next we have the Peperomia Graviolens, and now I just want to make sure I'm saying that right. I think I am. Graviolens, yeah. This plant is so exciting to me because I saw it first on the internet. I had never seen it anywhere else. You can see the bottoms of the taco shapes have this cool red color, and then the tops are all green, and the stems are the pale pinky red, kind of a little bit lighter than the leaves themselves. This is a super succulent plant. In fact, it was being sold with the succulents at my local nursery, which is interesting because I don't think this is technically a succulent, but nonetheless, I will probably care for it like it is a succulent. And I haven't had this one for too long. I bought this one recently, so I can't really say if it's putting any new growth points out or how it's doing or how it will do in my care, but I'm confident based on the fact that I take care of other peperomias that I'll be able to take care of this one, so we'll see. And yeah, local nursery, I think this one was a little bit more expensive. This one was $12.99, but I've really wanted this plant for a while, and I love the way it looks, so I'm excited to see this one grow as well. And finally, final plant we have in my Peperomia collection is the Peperomia Rubbe. Now I still have the little tag in it, which I actually don't need to have in here anymore, but for some reason I just keep them in there. So the Peperomia Rubbe. Now this is another one that the bottoms are all pinky red, the stems are pinky red, and then the tops are green. And I fell in love with this plant because of the veination on the plants, like the plant leaf, sorry. It's just so, it reminds me of lace. It's so delicate. The plant itself is so delicate and cute. It has these meow, meow, meow. Are you coming over? Please? I totally just lost my train of thought. You want to be in the video? Here we have a Tato. He's not a part of my Peperomia collection, but he is my son. Okay, so lastly with the Peperomia Rubbe, I can't remember exactly what I was talking about, but I really just like how delicate the leaves look, and I'm excited to see if this one grows more like bush-like or if it starts to trail, because some of the stems are coming out on like an angle here, which makes me think that they will eventually fall down when they have enough growth on them, but I can't say for certain. So it'll be interesting watching this one grow. This one I found at a local nursery, the same one that I found the Encana and the Peperomia Rubbe Cascade at. And again, this was a 4-inch tropical, so it was $4.99. So pretty standard pricing for Peperomias. That's another thing, I might have said this already, but that's another thing I really like about Peperomias. They're not too expensive, they're very reasonably priced, and there's such a wide variety of them that you can collect. Like I said, the most expensive Peperomia in my collection is the Rubbe Cascade, and it's a huge pot, so it's not like you're paying like what I'm gonna pay this afternoon, a 4-inch pot of Scindapsus exotica for $40 freaking. Ooh, it hurts, but it's on my wish list, and that's genuinely a good price for where I live, because usually that kind of pot would go for like $100. So I got a steal. Anyways, that's my Peperomia collection as of January 2nd, 2021. I can't wait to expand on my Peperomia collection as well as my collection in general, and I'm really enjoying making these videos. So if you're enjoying them as well, please feel free to subscribe here and come back and hang out with me / watch my videos more often. If you have any care tips or things to share about anything I talked about today, please leave them down below, because I could always use some more tips. I'm not the best necessarily when it comes to taking care of all my plants. Some of them, yes. Most of them, yes. All of them, no. So if you have any tips, things to share, love to spread, pop it down below. And until next time, enjoy yourself. Take care of your plant, take care of yourself, and enjoy your plants. Bye.